Happy Monday. What they talking about? Talk about what they talking about. Talking about what they talking about. Talking about what they talking about. Talk about nothing. Yeah. They ain't talking about nothing. Yup. Found out what they talking about. Talking about what they talking about. Talking about what they talking about. Talking about what they talk. They ain't talking about nothing. Yeah. They ain't talking about nothing. Uh-huh. Welcome to Nick's Good Morning. How are you on this happy Monday? We are going to get into it shortly. We're going to get some Psalms in. I've got some Reiki. I've got to sing to you this morning. I had so much information, I had to just slow down and stop. Um, the more I sat with it, the longer I sat with it, the more I realized that the world is not quite ready for the amount of Aquarius that they're about to get this summer. So, woo, 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 shout out to the age of Aquarius, the age of information, the age of exposure. So, hopefully, you've got your stuff together because hold on tight. This ride is about to get a little loopy, all right? Okay. Let's get into it. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee because this is a bit stronger than tea. By the way, happy ending to the Taurus season. We're now in cusp area and we're going into Gemini. Hopefully everybody is doing very well. Hopefully they're feeling happy, well hydrated, eating well, got enough rest. I know I did. I know I did. And hopefully you did too. Happy birthday to those who are having birthdays. Congratulations to those who are having graduations, events, proms, things of that nature. All of those wonderful, wonderful events, as well as people going into new business partnerships. There are some people that are reconfiguring their families, and that is okay. Remember to pat yourself on the back if you've made it this far in life because it is preferential for you to hurry up and try to get satisfied with what you have and work with what you got because things are going to change very soon. Okay, so this weekend I did find myself going into Job. I found myself going into Job. So we got out of Psalms, but I did want to mention this one part, right? And I may mention it afterwards, but I'm going to mention it right now. It's a wonderful day to be with us again. Don't forget, we are going to do some Reiki this morning. We are. So I'm just going to say this of this. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and a contrite heart. O God, thou wilt not despise. Those are the sacrifices of God. That way you are of the know and you know where to go. You're going to go to Psalms 51, and this is where that insert is. It's best for you to know the description of where you are and where you're headed, or where you might be, or where you might be found. And these are the conditions under which a spiritual bully will seek to sacrifice your soul. See, we have those who can preach the Bible all day from word to word, from scripture to scripture, from verse to verse. However, these same exact souls are using your spiritual ignorance to manipulate you. Here's the thing. While they're teaching you to spiritually oppress or judge one another or spoil another's meat, they are secretly going behind and doing exactly the same thing to you. So, there are battles going on simultaneously in parallel. Some of the people that they went into counsel with in order to do you wrong, they simultaneously did them wrong the same way. As I say all the time, as above, so below. And there is no honor among thieves. And thieves just does not mean thievery of tangible things. thievery of money and clothing and material things. Sometimes it's just the thieving of your time, your reputation, your space, your potential. Some people are trying to rob you of that because they weren't able to successfully rob you of other things. They will try anyway, in which. And you have to understand that it can become a network, all right? It can become a network because you do not know who people shake hands with. You do not know who people follow on social media. We have a lot of people who are allowed to follow people anonymously and without any real way of finding out exactly who it is. So they hide under the safety of that, and this is how they claim anonymity. They collect the data and they pretend as though they know you. They pretend as though they interact with you in your real life. However, they do not. They're just gathering information and small details, and they make it so convincing as to be connected to you, but they are obviously not. I've seen such a thing happen as far as mail systems. You get a disgruntled worker, male worker, or you get a disgruntled female worker. They go to work, they have an enemy, they have someone that they don't like. They throw their name into the chaos that's happening at work. Or they see a hotline says report. They say, hey, I don't like this person. They reported on that hotline. And it goes as deep as someone having someone who has a desk job, who has access to systems. And that person sometimes will use that personal relationship to enact some very bad warfare in your life. Okay. So be aware. And also, I used to think missing socks were small, right? Right? We all think that. But it's time to think of it in a really real way. Sometimes the missing sock can mean a lot of things happening in your home. When you are no longer matching your things and you're starting to see things disappear or end up in weird places that they wouldn't normally, write it down or take some record of it because it could help you later on in life. I remember I started finding things out of place and I started taking pictures of them before I moved them because I'm trying to figure out why did they end up there. Well, turns out there's always a story behind the missing sock. Don't be caught unawares. Sometimes a person is just trying to gaslight you to see how confused they can get you and how hung up they can get you on certain details. Sometimes the person is taking your personal effects and sharing it with others. DNA is held in a lot of your clothing, okay? Um, Sometimes they're doing it for spiritual reasons. I dare not go into that, but you can definitely research why a person would remove clothing containing your DNA and take it to a spiritualist. You can pretty much figure that out. But other than that, your DNA also holds the code to your special body. If a person wanted to frame you, they would need pieces of your DNA. So be mindful of someone being around you that gets into things. The thing about criminals, once they get caught, they study why they got caught. And after they study that, yeah, they apply their studies very readily, okay? So be aware, especially if you've been around someone who's been to the University of Prison. It's a double edged sword there. Not only do you go there for punishment, but everybody that's being punished is sitting there contemplating just like one another. And unfortunately, practice makes them think they got perfect at it, okay? Even though they got caught. Issues. There are flaws in every system. And this is what we need to know. There are flaws in any airtight system, even the ones that you thought would work in your favor. And there are flaws in some of my systems, some of the ones that I thought would work in my favor. And this is why you have to go within in order to figure out what are you going to do without, right? Let's go. So I was into Job, and it was interesting when I got into Job because it basically told me what was going on. What was going on. And I know everybody else knows what's going on. So let's catch up the collective, right? Let's catch us up. Then Job answered and said, even today is my complaint bitter. My stroke is heavier than my groaning. Oh, that I knew where I might find him, that I might come even to his seat. I would order my cause before him and fill my mouth with arguments. I would know the words which he would answer me and understand that he would say unto me. Will he plead against me with his great power? No, but he would put strength in me. There, the righteous might dispute with him, so should I be delivered forever from my judge. Behold, I go forward, but he is not there, and backward, but I cannot perceive him. On the left hand, where he doeth work, but I cannot behold him, he hideth himself on the right hand, that I cannot see him. But he knoweth the way that I take. When he hath tried me, I shall come forth as gold. My foot have held his steps, his way have I kept and not declined. Neither have I gone back from the commandment of his lips. I have esteemed the words of his mouth more than my necessary food. Thank you. But he is one mind, he is in one mind, and who can turn him? And what his soul desireth, even that he doeth. For he performeth the thing that is appointed for me, and many such things are with him. Therefore am I troubled at his presence. When I consider this, I am afraid of him. For God maketh my heart soft, and the Almighty troubleth me. Because I was not cut off before the darkness, neither hath he covered the darkness from my face. I'm going to leave that right here because some people get a little, what's that thing? Shameful at conviction, especially when not only you can word it, but you can find source to back up your Father's word. Amen. Say la, say be it. Hey, hey, woo! Yeah. So that was Job 23. Job. We got some work to do, Job. We're in the time. We are laboring, but we do not know in which who we are laboring for. So be aware of the conduits and the straits that lead away from you, and what are you sourcing? What's sourcing you? What are you sourcing? Okay, there you go. Let's keep going. All right, so we're not starting the Reiki yet, so go on and call your friends for a second because I've got the song right. I've got the song. Okay. Ooh. So, does anybody know about the mythological story of Icarus and Daedalus? Icarus was the son, and Daedalus was the father. Icarus was a very smart, bright boy, and he had a lot of ambition. However, he had cast his it's not a pearls before swine information type thing. Really, he had basically decided that his net was wider than in which he could really get to. So this is just a story of an overshot. All right, it happens to the best of us. Icarus, don't know what you've done to us. You crave too much sunshine, can't trust your wings too much. Icarus, Icarus, don't know what you've done to us. You care too much. Sunshine, can't trust your wings too much. Heard you flew clues to the sun. Knew you thought you were the one. Your descent has now begun. No more wax. Welcome to Delos, city of Crete, salt of the sea. Lay here to rest. Don't come back to me. City of Crete, salt of the sea. King, don't come back. Don't come back to me. City of Crete, salt of the sea. Lay it to rest, won't come back to me. City of Crete, salt of the sea. Lay it to rest, don't come back to me. So, this does tell the story of Icarus and Daedalus. No more wax. Welcome. The descent has now begun. Order in our court. All right. So, if you've not found out a new word or the dynamics of a new word, let me share one with you. The word bacchanal is very pertinent. You need to know what it means when someone is using it. You also need to know what it means when you are included in one. A lot of times, when you don't have the word or the description for it, you're not able to place exactly what you're into. A lot of people did not know that they were involved in lots and lots of rituals because they were not able to describe it, because it was never described or it was never worded to them. They just thought that it was just a gathering of sorts. You have to be mindful when people are coming together of one accord. You have to also know that there are chances for duality. Like we all say, there's people on the good side, there are people on the bad side. And fortunately for us, they're everywhere and they're included in everything. The power of discernment is so good. I'm trying to tell you, when you actually come upon a person who is aware and they're emotionally intelligent enough to not judge and actually speak good things and not wasteful things, it's so refreshing to come apart, to be a part of such a situation that raises the vibration of this here society. It is wonderful. Okay, don't let anyone browbeat you into feeling like you need to take part in the negativity that is happening. Do not spoil your brother's meat. If a person likes negativity, you leave them to it. You do not try to change a person because they will no doubtedly go up against you. And for some weird reason, it's easier for them to find low lives than it is for them to find a high life. Okay? So pay attention. Pay attention. All right. So, are we ready for this Reiki? We need to breathe, relax, relate, breathe, and get it in. Have you drink water? When's the last time you drink water? I'm suggesting it before you go to sleep and as soon as you wake up, especially right after a shower. You need to hydrate. I know the water's running on your outside. You definitely need to put it on the inside. We are emotional, wonderful celestial beings, all of us. Some of us are drier than the others. Yeah, they're low vibrational. Get hydrated, okay? You are part of this vibration, part of the wave. Okay, so get on it. Oh, by the way, pretty juice this week. I got a pineapple. I was happy enough and fortunate enough to come across an old couple that actually have a strawberry patch. So I did find strawberry sources. So strawberries, and that is naturally occurring biotin. That would be for your skin, hair, and nails. Don't say I didn't tell you. And remember, purple cabbage, any cabbage, but raw cabbage is great for gut health. It is great for ulcers as well. But the thing you need to know about it is if you have diverticulitis, you need to find something to do. You need to find a juicer because your body is not able to break down the fibers in that. So a juicer would definitely help if you are adverse to raw vegetables. Some people cannot do vegetables like that, and we understand, but you can drink it, dear. You can drink it. Get it in, okay? Get it in. All right, so with that being said, we did the pretty juice. We did some research. We also got a bit of hard conviction here. Oh, definitely. Conviction works both ways. I'm always trying myself. So you have to test the spirit in yourself before you try to test other people. And this is the problem. We have a lot of weak people using the illusion of strength to test others, but they have not been tested. Test them. I bet you they like origami. Okay, let's go. All right, so let's get it in. Breathe in, breathe out. Break every chain, break all the curses, break every chain, break all the curses, break all the chains, 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 break all the curses. Mother, 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 no more. Break all the chains, break all the curses, break all the chains, break all the curses, break all the chains, break all the curses, break all the chains, break. Father, 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 no more. Break all the chains, break all the curses, 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 break all the chains. Mercy, mercy, mercy. No more. Break all the chains, break all the curses, break all the chains, break all the curses, break all the chains, break all the curses, break all the chains, break all the curses. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Yes. Wow. I am sweating from that alone. Energy, energy, energy. It does not lie, and I did not move. Woo! Oh boy. How's about that? Is everybody okay? Get you some water. Don't forget to stretch before you leave out. Kiss somebody you love. Hug yourself and tell yourself it's going to be okay, collective. Now, for the collective people that are here, things are going to look a little strange in the next few months, especially over the summertime, because we have a reckoning happen of sorts. You gotta be mindful that we're all intergalactically connected and definitely connected by way of being on this world at the same time. There is not too many things that happen that do not have anything to do with you. It's just that you barely feel the trickle because it has not approached you directly yet. However, we are all interconnected. What was crazy, hold on, let me go grab my cards. Okay. Is that a lot of people are a lot of us collective, we're waiting to see what's going to happen, and we're trying to figure out why all this stuff is happening, why the mail's going crazy, why we're having upticks in like different phone numbers with 1-800 numbers, and the uptick in the anonymous people reaching out, and weird things happening with your neighbors and your spouses and your children and things of that nature. And everybody's just looking for answers because we're all pretty much fed up, and we've traumatized each other to the point of no return. There is pretty much no one on this earth who isn't a child who hasn't been subjected to things. And now that we see where majority of the adults have been affected, now it's like we have some chaos agents waiting at the womb. They're like waiting to catch the baby and traumatize the baby as soon as they come out. Some of the babies don't even get a chance to come out before they're getting traumatized. We have people attacking pregnant women, um, throwing bad energy at them, cussing them out, hurting them, pushing them, hurting their feelings. That stuff goes inside of a child, even from the womb. A child remembers. If you've ever seen those NICU movies where those kids, where they come out and their eyes are closed and their parent says something, and they start reaching out toward the voice, that lets you know that life is real. Life gets real from as soon as the first heartbeat happens. So you have to be very mindful of these things. So we have a new generation where the kids are not being sheltered at all. Okay, they don't have to stay up until the middle of the night. They don't have the shelter of the TV turning off. Remember, we used to wake up to the American flag sometimes, thinking we was gonna sneak and watch something. No, and the rockets that flare, and you just see the flag going. Like, these kids have nonstop information to shit they shouldn't see. I mean, it's bad enough we've got the nonstop zombies walking through the streets looking crazy. And it's unfortunate, a lot of the zombies that we're trying to get the hell out of our way are your moms, your dads, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, and grandparents who have made repetitive bad decisions. Unfortunately for that, a lot of them don't feel sorry for it. They feel more entitled because there have been a lot of programs that have made them feel more entitled to just being broken people than actually getting their shit together. And a lot of them are the ones that are victimizing us. People who have decided that they would not make a better decision, but they did figure out the flaws in the system to make your decision better for them. Wild, isn't it? I keep mentioning that because I said, how freaking am I going to get up in a town where the only people that get access to help are people who are willing to hit rock bottom? What does that do? And the people who are willing to hit rock bottom are willing to let go of certain rights that make a difference in your life. So you have to be very, very invested in the things that you want to happen in your life versus the things you don't want to happen in your life. And what I've seen with this culture of the entitlement is a lot of people want a lot and they don't want to do nothing for it. And some of the ones who want a lot, they're willing to do everything but the right thing for it. And it's really irritating. The worst part about it is we have a new situation where the criminals are trying to get the non criminals locked up so that we can pay for them to get out of jail. Yeah, wait, what? Yeah, wait, what? Yeah, wait, what? We're going to find out that there are people who are right there with us who are supposedly law abiding citizens who are actively helping to break the law. And it all depends on what side they land on. Some of them are going to land on the good side, whether they're good or not. And some of them are going to land on the bad side because they've shake hand with the wrong person who doesn't want to take the fall. So they're going to let them go down the chute first. So you have to be very discerning in this day and time. Be careful of the weakest links. People who have insecurities, who have what low emotional intelligence that works, but we're talking about people who have money insecurities, who don't like to be accountable for the amount of money they spend, who get a special high from being able to look down on others. You have to pay attention to people who get that pimp in their head, the pimp in their head. Excuse me. For the most part, a pimp to me is a damaged gender. I'm not going to say man, because women are pimps now too. They got taught. So we're going to say that part. So the pimpology is from a person who has been damaged sexually, not, and it's not always the physical damage sexually. They've been damaged by the opposite sex. They see the opposite sex in a less than beautiful way, right? And as a person grows up and they self-actualize, they decide whether or not they want to go down that rabbit hole of not liking X gender or this gender, right? And most of the time it comes from a distortion that happens with that gender. So now I'll base it from a man's side and then I'll go on to the women's side. On the man's side, you get a man, he's sexually damaged, doesn't like women for whatever reason. His sister did something, somebody got teased, caught him doing something that he shouldn't have been done, made fun of it, made it public. The mother likes to tell the child's business to the point of embarrassment. Didn't have a father, said some, caught them talking about the father in a certain way, or just a lot of different situations which would make a man not like women, but they would not like them enough to not say anything because they know they still have to function around a woman, because in their life, most of the time, in most men's life, the father didn't do none of the stuff women do. The woman was selfless. She tried to nurture him, saw him crying, and tried to do something about it. Whereas though most men, I'm going to say most, not all, their father would look at them crying and say, okay, the boy is crying. Go do something about the fucking boy, right? Okay, boom. So a lot of times those men, eventually they grow up, they love their mothers, they think everything about their mother, and then something happens. They realize that that's a woman. And eventually they go from idolizing a woman and pedestalizing a woman to getting tired of quote unquote worshiping her, to now being upset and resenting her for having so much of his attention that he can't function without asking her to do something for him. Mom, can you turn on the TV? Mom, can you do my laundry? Mom, can you cook me this? Mom, can you cook me that? And eventually that helplessness, especially if he runs into a woman who's not that cheery and sunshiny, or is not a good example, or has not taught the boy how to fish. She just feeds the boy fish. She never teaches the boy how to fish. That can cause an issue because he will go from pedestalizing her to being jealous of her, then envying her, but now he hates her. So now, if he can't be a woman, he'll do the next thing that'll do to destroy a woman. He'll take the things that he thinks that she thinks is valuable, and that will be the closest way to identify with that woman. And that is a toxic relationship. But this is what happens. This also happens on the female side. A woman gets around handsy men too often, or she perceives that the man gets more than she does all the time. Her brother gets more. Her brother gets more freedom, or whatever have you. Or a woman meets a man and he gets money, and she doesn't have control of him, but she wants control of him because she remembers how her father controlled her mother. So she says she doesn't want to be weak like her mother. She says, I want to be strong as my dad. Now you have to be careful, because yes, you should be strong, but you don't have to be as strong as your dad, especially if you had a strong dad. The thing about it is we need to keep balance in our homes. We definitely have to teach. Even if you end up being a single parent, you need to teach balance in your homes. We have too many men and women coming up with too many extreme feelings and thoughts towards the other sex. It's too much. We went from kids playing in the sand pit playing in the street, playing in the alley, playing in the pool to absolute enemies because now we figured out, oh my God, you have a penis. Oh my God, you have a coochie. Like the discovery of this is almost the same effect as Bugs Bunny or Wile E. Coyote running off the cliff and falling after realizing I am no longer grounded. Okay. Shout out to the big back, bad built bonnet bitches who decided to ride through my hood. Shout out to you hoes. I don't know why you keep pulling up to figure out what I look like or what's happening so that you can go and pretend that you know me, but stop doing it because it looks a bit weird. And trust me, I know what you have to do. One, you're going to burn a lot of gas because that's a lot of fucking weight to carry. So you've got to push that car with them big ass chicken hawks in there. And two, somebody has to be invested in this shit because who in the fuck would risk the goddamn what the stability, their wheel stability in the damn chassis carrying these big bitches. You see what I'm saying? You were invested in something, especially when I know it cost a lot for me vehicle maintenance, and you had all the big bitches in there. I know you had to stop and feed them too. Who the hell is paying the bill for you to ride these big bodyguards around? Anyway, just letting you know I got my eyes open because I was outside cutting the grass. I cut grass now. Woo, woo. I was outside cutting grass and I just had this funny feeling and I started watching things move around me and it said somebody's about to do something stupid around you. And damn it, it was like a whole bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken turned the damn corner and all I see was these big bad built, big bonnet bitches pull up. And what's crazy is as soon as I stepped out the door, she pulled off. So I'm like, that was a move, wasn't it? It was funny though, because I was like, one, two, three, four. What type of suspension does that car have? Because that road wasn't smooth. What an investment. All I know is just like we used to do the cutting of the paper and the folding, you bitches grab each other hands and y'all single file out. All right. Just like the little paper cut bitches. Beep, 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 beep. You know, I never did learn how to cut them. Every time I cut them, they would always come apart. They would not stick together. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Death and transformation popped straight on out here. Somebody ought to be embarrassed. Where's this country accent coming out? It's because somebody's backwards in my energy. And somebody goes down to the country and they play city slicker and then they play country miles. Somebody likes to play the gamut. Somebody likes to do all of the above, all right? Somebody is adjusting to a lot of different environments at the same time. They are just as multifaceted as me. The problem is they don't want nobody to know that they be faking in people's face. They fake a lot, a lot. Yes, yes, yes. It's the truth. I ain't telling you no lies. Oh my goodness. And you know I don't talk like this. Jeez, I need some coffee. I'm waiting for this to wear off. Them country folk, them big old cornfield boys. That's why I'm talking like this. I think it's somebody country in my thing. One of them country boys who done got themselves one of them manifestos and they got all this information so they figure out they gon' orchestrate some things. So collective, I need y'all pay attention now. Things gonna get a little rocky, right? Because we got all these fraudulent, this PP loan paper and all that stuff. But somebody's trying to cover up that they done did something to somebody's child. And they're trying to get the child out of that person's custody before the child learn how to talk or reveal the fact that they've been tampered with. See, a lot of these kids that are coming out now, a lot of these people are trying to traumatize them first thing because they need more nonverbal children. They need more children that aren't able to tell. They need more traumatized kids so that they can keep the malicious cycle going, because this was a 100-year curse that they added on to our 400 because they weren't willing to go into the cotton fields. So unbeknownst to you, after that 400-year curse, yeah, they got us. They got us. But they didn't get us the way they got us the last time. See, we don't got to stay. The problem is now we just got a bunch of people who want to play the middle guy, who keep being told, well, if you can help us keep holding him up a little bit, we gonna give you this or we gonna give you that. So this is why you keep seeing all these middle management, all these mayors and shit. They keep selling us back into fucking slavery to the peoples. And I'm not just talking black people. I'm talking about all the chosen ones. See, chosen don't have nothing to do with skin color, because wheat come in every color. Wheat come in every color. It's all depending on the process, the bleaching, the region, the amount of time to harvest, that sort of thing. Because we all different grades of wheat. So you gotta separate the wheat from the chaff. He ain't never say nothing about the goddamn color. All right, because I like pumpernickel bread. I really don't like that white bread stuff, but other people do. You see, it's a taste and a flavor for everybody. You're not supposed to be here for everybody like. So let's get that off the table. If everybody like you, what the fuck is you doing? You done drugged somebody. What you doing? What you doing? You doing something wrong. Because if everybody like you done shook hands with somebody and you done been phony to a lot. All right. So let's just get that. You supposed to be of a specific taste. You're supposed to be coded to one thing. Everybody gets along with everybody. I cannot trust them. All right. Somebody's got to be rubbed wrong. Unfortunately, people get butt hurt when they get rubbed wrong, and they go lying to people and they go trying to do all this political stuff and ain't gotten into nobody's office. Might have been under the desk, but you ain't got no desk. Talk about that favor. Talk about that favor. Anyway, so unfortunately for us, a lot of people then got married and then went in college and then joined all of these groups and things of that nature. And by way of them contracts, they have shook hands with the very people who have decided that they was going to stab them in the back. A lot of us have sat and ate some really nice meals. Yeah, you heard that. Some of us have ate some very nice meals with some demons and devils, and they went right after they ate the meal with you. They took a picture of you, and they went somewhere and they had conversations that maybe you weren't aware of, and maybe you were, but you didn't know the underlying context of that information. That information was meant to either make you look really bad in somebody's face, or make you look questionable, or make you look replaceable. So you have to understand which lane you fit in when it comes to people. So that's why I don't be in everybody's face. That's why I don't even like being in people's face, because people have showed me that they don't know what face is. The whole face card decline thing is going to go down in hell. It's not aging right, because y'all feel as though all y'all got to do is show a picture. The picture is worth 1,000 words once you read a fucking 1,000 words. Some of y'all don't know 1,000 words, but you stay taking pictures. I don't know who that was for, but shots motherfucking fired. Anyway, sips coffee. So we got 13, 15, 3. Ooh, it's fading. God, thank God. Okay. 13, 15, and 3. Scorpio, Capricorn, and Capricorn. So we've got a lot. We stuck. It's up and it's stuck. I told people you got to pay attention. Somebody wants you to be the Joker to their Batman. And they want you to do it forever because they think they a vigilante. However, they don't realize that they on some Lex Luthor shit. Yeah, that's what they on, some Lex Luthor shit. They on some we mixing the Marvels with everything else. Like they mixing things together and it don't make sense. The agencies are mixing together and it's a conflict of interest for certain people to be having certain conversations and to be having all of these phone calls and all of this stuff. But bear with us as the dynamics are trickling down because they're catching people up on everything. It was funny as hell. The same guy that was doing the MAGA influence, the same guy that was doing the MAGA influence ended up on the same show that he supported, the Polk County Sheriff. That shit was funny as hell. One, Polk County, he be telling them uncle jokes. He be telling them uncle jokes. Them jokes do not be all that funny. The fact it be funny, the fact that they don't be funny. That's what make it so funny. Cause he be waiting for that laughter to come in and it don't. So like the extra 2 seconds that you be waiting for the laughter makes you laugh. So what had happened was the MAG influencer was like, yeah, they're gonna get you, da, 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 da. And he's based in Florida. What's crazy is they caught him. The same person who he tooted up and said, yeah, they gonna catch you. We not boss here. Save the kids. Save the kids. Then he get caught in a hotel with a prostitute. Now it wasn't necessarily a kid, but almost the same thing. She could have been coming from a situation where she needed money. She could have been trafficked, this, that, and the third, and it could have been just that easy for it to have been a kid. So it was crazy that he got caught up in the same net that he had casted. So you have to pay attention. Some people are really, really hypocrites. The same person sitting there saying, we can't do this, we can't do that, is doing that, is doing that. I can't tell you how many people who have been caught have been doing bad things to kids and they have children at home. They have stepkids at home. They've donated to charities. They even found a Santa Claus. And this is why I don't take my child to go see Santa. And this is why I was so pissed when somebody that I told, don't take my child to see Santa. Okay? Don't do it. Do not do it. If he can't safely sit on his own father lap, why would I give him to a stranger to sit on their lap? And I'm going to stand on everything I just said. Do not trust nobody around your children, whether they verbal or not. Kids have a thing called innocence. They have this thing called room and space to learn. And you cannot get mad and you cannot blame and you cannot explain away, oh, she wanted it. Oh, she yelped, so I thought. No, it was access, so I did it. That type of situation. People are sick nowadays, especially people who cannot sit with themselves. A person who always in different relationships. I mean, you could bet your bottom dollar they in somebody's face. They can't be around kids, baby. Whether they doing it to the kids or not, they might bring somebody around the kid to do it. So you gotta be so careful. Watch out for them serial step parents. They always in other people kids' faces and never in their own. They don't give a shit about your kids because they didn't give a shit about their kids. They left their kid in a broken home so they can come break your shit up. And some of them have broken their kids. That's why they trying to hide at your house. Be careful with letting people stay at your home. You are providing someone an opportunity not to fill out a background check. You are providing a person an opportunity to not be found in the yellow pages. You are providing a person an opportunity to not enter in no logistics and be found if they need to be scooped the fuck up. Because I guarantee you, the same criminals who are hiding will give your information, will give your location, will dox you, will be all up in your personal stuff, trying to benefit off of your stuff while hiding theirs simultaneously. So do not be fooled by a person. Oh, I just need to get on my feet. I need a couple weeks in your house.
No, fuck that. You need a couple weeks on the curb till you learn to stop doing the shit you did that got you the fuck out there. I don't know what you want me to do, but I come to praise the Lord. Hallelujah. I've already given, and what I've found from what I've given is that people try to overtake. So you do what you want. But I'm telling you, I've come across some people. I've come across people that I was helping. I've come across people that I've taken places to get things done. I've advocated for people, and those same people, whilst pretending to need my assistance, my help, my time, use that same exact access to try to railroad me, place me in situations I never wanted to be a part in, never asked to be part in, tried to record me, took audio and video and visuals of me that I did not give consent to be used in any other way. Things of that nature, taking my demographics, my things. I even have people that come into the chat and they do really, various things. And that lets me know that we're in a whole different place. Remember that movie, Revenge of the Nerds, Lambda, Lambda, Lambda? Well, back then, back then, they were divisive, but the thing about them in Revenge of the Nerds, they had somewhere to go. They were apologetic. They were not out here trying to destroy. Even though we did meet narcissists there, we learned that we met narcissists in Revenge of the Nerds. We saw how people could be very unfair with their connections. We saw how people who are less brain inclined will use every device possible to outsmart you while not studying a damn thing. We learned that. We learned that on what was Lambda, 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 and Move 5. Revenge of the Nerds was a really, really great movie. But it taught us a lesson. And if you've ever watched a movie like that, you've also watched Catch Me If You Can. You've watched the Magician movie where they did the smoke in the mirrors and the things of that nature. And some of the magic wasn't magic, it was manipulation. It was strategic placing and timing. It was a group effort and having all the moving places move of one accord. It's the ebb and flow of things, right? So, excuse me, sorry, collective, belching, karma. So a lot of people are being woken up, and a lot of people are starting to realize that they've been in rooms that had a lot of different characters in it, and they don't know exactly. Some of us know exactly what we could put faces and names to faces. Some of us can't. Some of us are still trying to figure out the trail. Some of us know the trail. Some of us have saw some documentation. We've seen things that line up exactly with what I'm saying, and some of us are taking, and some of us are not ready. I'm going to tell you, some of us are, because I wasn't ready when I first started this journey. It used to frustrate me a little bit, because it's like, how did I trust so many people that weren't trustworthy? And why would they use my trust? Like, I was trustworthy. So I realized, I had to come to the terms to realize that they were using my character in ways that I didn't know my character could be used. So I was like, shoot, I must have been, I'm slipping. They caught me slacking. So I got to go learn something. So I had to sit back and put on my glasses and be like, okay, so this is where I went wrong. All right. Right there, move that over. Oh, and I was like, oh. When I really saw it, I was like, oh. And it was like, oh, it was like a nice exhale, because it was like, oh, that, oh, that, oh, I could deal with that. Yeah. So once you put all the pieces together, you'll calm down, your nerves will regulate, and you'll be able to move forward. The thing about it is, these people want you to stop. They want you to slow down, and they need you to be heartbroken. They need you to be low. They need you to be of low energy. They need you to just be on a clearance rack. They need you out here living your life like it's olden, not golden. They need you to be inside out, and this is what you don't give them. You get your things together, you dust yourself off, and you get on that ride again. You get back on that bike, you get back on that horse, you get back on your trail, you get back to your business, you get back to whatever shop you had, you get back to whatever plan you had. If you were going to go work for a company, you get back to that. If you were going to go work out, you get back to that. If you notice that you and your kids are not having as much conversation, you guys are not, interacting as much, find something and get back to your kid, okay? Because your household is going to be the most important place for you. You need to be more important in your house than you are in these streets. You do. You need to be more important in your house than you are in the streets. You need to know what's going on in your house. You need to know what's going on in that bedroom, in that closet, in them drawers. You need to know. Don't find out like I found out some shit was happening. I thought I was on point till I realized I was too on point, to the point where people learned how to be pointedly sneaky around me. They knew where I would look, so they studied me to see where I wouldn't look. Pay attention. Sometimes the snake isn't biting the rat right away, not because it's not hungry, not because it's not a snake. It's because it's not ready. It's not empty enough to consume that rat. So you pay attention. Sometimes you can know a person is a snake. And you tell yourself, because I know that's a snake, I'm moving accordingly. I'm all right. I'm good. No, animals evolve too. And you never know what type of appetite, and you don't know what they run into, because they splicing people, they mutating people, they putting stuff in their drinks, they putting stuff in their food. These people are taking medications on for long periods of time, which creates things in their brains, different changes depending on what type of drugs they are taking. People are getting hit in their head, people are getting concussions. Not to mention verbal and emotional abuse, which is very, very, very underrated. That changes the chemicals and the makeup of your DNA much faster than somebody actually physically doing something to you. That will change your DNA and your chemical makeup in your body, because emotions matter. This is how worrying can create an ulcer. This is how stress can give you an aneurysm. You're not connecting the dots here, okay? Connect the dots. This thing here is an organic computer. You would do well to figure out the diagnostics and be your own nerd squad to your body. Whenever you see that you lacking on your body or your knowledge or something, put on your glasses and get to your nerd squad and start the diagnosis. Press them F1 discovery buttons you got for your body. See, we've given a lot of time to this computer thing, and what we've found out about this computer thing, well, at least me, is that the computer plans on knowing more than me each and every time, because that's how the computer was built. So, don't you think you should invest in your computer the same way these people are? Just a thought. Anyway, so 13 is death and transformation. You may want to change some things. You may want to die to the person that you are and try to figure out the person that you is now, because it does change as you grow. Or you might have to kill off some things that you have in your diet, your life diet. You might have to, those thoughts, some of those words, some of that noise, some of those colors, some of that food, that neighborhood, that store. Sometimes you can't go to certain stores, not because they don't have things for you. It's because who's there. It's because who's around. You don't know who's invested in that store. One day I went to a store, and for some reason I just didn't like it in that store. And I looked at that store and I kept watching that store, and I looked at that store. I said, I'm not going to go back to that store because I'm not putting no money in that store. And the thing about that store is The person that working there, I don't think he like women. And it's not that he don't like women as a point to where he won't say nothing or speak to a woman or be cordial or accept a woman's money. It's just that something tells me that my money, when it leave me and go to him, it don't go to things that like women. Makes me believe it don't go to things that like kids either. So you have to be very careful whose business you are putting into. And you also have to be careful. Watch out. Some of them shop owners are are practitioners too. They know a lot of universal law. How do you think that they got to be in power? You have to learn something. You have to master something. Okay, so how do you think they got these places, these businesses? A lot of times when we say entity, it's not always that type of attachment that we are addressing. An entity is a business. An entity is an institution. Entity is something that you have to sign papers for, which gives you directions, and you have to take directions, and you have to go forward with these directions. So pay attention when people are talking to you. There are certain dynamics to each word, and there are several definitions, be it adjective or subjective. It depends. And this is why you have to learn words. You have to fall in love with words because you're using them all the time. And if you are not careful, you will use the wrong words or accept the wrong words, and they will put your ass in a bind. Learning always. Learning always. Okay, so then we've got the 15, which is obsession, fixation, shadow self attachment, addiction. Addiction goes a long way, and addiction covers a lot of things. It can cover addiction to likes. One person goes viral, right? They go viral. The endorphins from their brain releases. It's like, oh my God, I went viral, I went viral, I went viral. Next thing you know, shock value happens. And now they're doing everything in the world to create shock, which means not only is their nervous system messed up, their fan system's nervous is messed up. And the people that they interact end up getting messed up just by the energy that they carry. Because everybody's running around trying to be shock value, viral moment, instead of either consistency or having that viral moment, appreciating that viral moment, and then going back to your life. Now all of a sudden you took that viral moment and now it's got to be a career. And you're like, a viral moment is like a lightning that strikes. If you get it to strike twice, if you get it to strike consistently, you're a star. If you get it to strike once, that's great. You've got a viral moment. But some people get addicted and they start doing any and everything to go viral. We're in this culture. We have people who are on the wrong side of 50 doing a little bit of everything to go viral. And then we've got these young kids who've seen their moms, their dads, and their grandparents break down working, and they decide that they're going to live a life going viral. And you know how many chances and risks these children take, not realizing that they still got to get to our tender age of living past the dumb shit. And unfortunately for them, there's recordings and they recorded them. You know what I'm saying? So we have a lot of work to do. While there is a push to change, there's also a push to figure out the shit that we already have. A lot of us, a lot of people still can't correctly use a pen or a pencil. A lot of people still can't correctly use a dictionary. They're running up into Google, but they will still not pull out a dictionary or index. They won't go to the library. A lot of people, when they started putting these books on in movies and stuff, y'all forgot that the book paints a way better, way much detailed picture of what you need for your brain. The movie's just going to shorten and gratify those little endorphins that you want passed out, that you just want to feel something. You just want to feel something. All right, you're going to feel this pain when you, the pain of not paying attention, the repercussions of not being present in your body, in your mind. You're going to feel that, okay? So be careful of what you be trying to feel. Giving him something he can feel. Ah, to let them know this love is real. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, hey, I'm missing Vogue. Everybody liked Terry. I liked Vaughn. Dawn, was it? Giving him something he can feel. Mm, to let him know this love is real. Mm, this love is real. Now, when they said giving him something he can feel, they weren't talking about all bad. Giving him something he can feel is giving him somebody to talk to, giving him somebody to hold, giving him somebody to take care of. Because this what most men like to do. They like to take care of the things that they deem important, special, and worth taking care of. So if you are around men and they are not taking care of the situation, I'm not saying by manipulation, I'm talking about just automatically. And sometimes you will come across a bad man who will actually act like he has some damn sense. And sometimes you'll come across one of them damn demon women who will act like she got a little bit of sense. But don't take it for granted. Don't get all big up in your head. Run around, yeah, she did this for me and he did that for me. Because that shit can be taken away in a moment's time, either by God or the devil. You see what I'm saying? An accident can happen, gone. Or a chick that he deems better, gone. So you have to know and be careful with your moments. Don't invest into the wrong things. Be careful. Take your time. Go within. Know yourself. Know yourself when you want these things. Know yourself when you don't get these things. Know yourself when you no longer want these things. Know yourself and be okay. We have too many people unaliving themselves because they can't get their way. They can't make a person. They can't do this. And then we got too many people trying to hurt people because they don't want to do what they want them to do. It's too much of this going on. We need to know ourselves a bit more before we start pushing and impressing things upon other people. Hopefully this helps. And then we've got the three, which I always say is the creator saying, come here, I need to talk to you. Ooh. I hate it when the messages come by like that. All right. There is a group of younger, I hate giving messages like that. There are a group of young adults, and they're in between school and work and things of that nature. And they don't understand what's going on. Um, if you are around a group of your peers and something happens to you, you get assaulted or something, and something bad happens, and the peer that you reach out to, you communicate with, whether it's long distance or close directly, they are very cold towards or react. They don't react in a passionate way. They basically are like, okay, well, sorry that happened to you. Pay attention to that. Not only are they not going to take up for you, and you probably did things for this person. You probably helped them. You probably did them a favor. But the problem is, um, hopefully you didn't do anything bad with them, because the same act that you helped them do, they went and did that same act with somebody to you. So if you find that you having a little bit of bad luck after interacting or doing something or participating in something with somebody, that person has some of your personal stuff. They fed you, y'all shared something, y'all spent money, or you gave them money, or they gave you money. That person did something to you. If you like little trinkets, press on nails, y'all write to each other, exchange things. One of y'all on other ends is bippity bopping each other, and and somebody's being blamed that have nothing to do with it. Because I'm seeing the three here. Because I'm looking like 13, 15, 3. It's odd, all odd numbers, but it all three came out like that. And what do we know about sororities? Something about three. It's always sigma, beta, phi, or blah, 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 or blah, 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 blah. So it's somebody who's a pledger or trying to pledge or they college age. But what I'm saying is, these young kids is bippity bopping each other and they blaming it on each other parents. Or they blaming it on somebody that's not in the group. So all of them is bippity bopping each other and they blaming it on somebody had nothing to do with it. $13, 15, and 3. 28 plus 3. 29, 31, 32. It's 5. Change. Something is about to change. The dynamic of this friendship is about to change. I usually don't like to show you the devil, so I'm just going to turn the 3 to the side. But yeah. Something's about to change. Something's about to reconfigure. Something's about to reconfigure. Because 28 was wish fulfillment, but then the 3 made it change. So somebody went from having wish fulfillment, excuse me, to realizing that their part is coming up. Oh, I love this part in the song. I love that part in the movie. Don't you have a movie that you watch and it gets to that part? There's a part that embarrasses you. Well, it might not embarrass you. Me, I'm such intense. I be having parts of the movie where I be like, I can't look. It's too embarrassing. Yep, that part is coming. Some people are about to be publicly embarrassed in front of you. These are people that you trusted. These are people who you thought could be trusted. These are people who you sat at a table with, who you probably signed papers with, who you actually went into agreement with. And you're going to find out that that was the biggest scam, fraud, disguise ever. That was the phoniest person to be around in the world. I'm not laughing at you. I'm smiling because, boy, I'm thinking of all the people who sat and played in my face and how they'll never get a chance to do that again. But yeah, this part, yeah, some things are being reconfigured. So the big change is coming. So after I added that 3 to the 28, that turned into 32, which makes it a 5. So changers are coming down the line. Collective, grab your helmets. We're going to be shell shocked in just a moment. We are about to be shell shocked. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are about to be shell shocked as all these things are revealed. Hold up. Here we go. 57, 75, 57, 75. Step up. Here we go. So we got the 5 in Taurus left out in the cold. Then we've got this Aries in Taurus. God damn, we've got 3 Tauruses here. This is a lot of goddamn earth. Somebody either does necromancy, earth magic, or they're feeling down in the dirt. They're feeling down in the damn delta. Somebody's feeling down. D. We've got 3 Taurus out here, 1 Aries. Boom. 5, 7 air, earth. Financial loss, lack mindset, loss, isolation, worry, need, poverty, insecurity, hard work, productivity, routine, conservation, efficiency, responsibility, long-term view, hard work, perseverance, diligence, sustainable results, investment. So somebody was definitely working on a long-term investment. However, they're in the dire straits now. Shit is getting heavy at this time. Somebody put a lot of hard work into this. It was supposed to be a long-term investment, but this shit is an atomic bomb. Come with it. All right, so somebody needs to pay attention to everything that they got going on. This 57 is a 12, which is 3, which means it's divine intervention. Someone's about to come see about your work. Somebody's about to be audited. There are books that are about to be looked at. There are records that are about to be looked at. Somebody's about to go through a straight up audit. Every secret will be pulled from wherever it needs to be pulled from. That's what I got to say. That's all it is to it. It did turn into a 3. So when it comes into a 3, that is the creator intervening. And that means that there are a lot of third parties. There were people whispering. There were whispers. There were communications carried and back and forth. And there were a lot of moving parts. It was a lot of hard work putting this together just for the shit to fall apart. There you go. 3, divine intervention. 5, 7, Taurus, 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 Aries. Only thing that came out, take what resonates, sun, moon, rising. There you go. So let it be. This is my second spread, okay? 3, spread 3. We're at 501. It's 501 on the clock. 501 on the clock. You know what else? It's 501 Lee's. I think it was Levi's, something like that. 501. I'm going to tell you about 501. 501 comes from the rivets on the jeans. Oh, I'm so good at that. Rivets on the jeans. 501. So 501 is like Levi's. It's like a jeans. It's jeans. It's a jeans. Levi Strauss to be exact. 501s. 501 points to the 5 points, the rivets on the one pair of pants. The rivets were because pants used to rip a lot of times when people were doing hard work. So they put the rivets on the weak points of the jeans. So somebody has a weak point in the fabric. There are weak points in the fabric of somebody's makeup, in somebody's outfit. What they call an outfit back in mobster days, that was the organization. That was the syndicate. Okay, so there's a weak points in the outfit. 5. I don't know why it says 5, 501, 5 points. So there's 5 weak points. Either there's 5 agencies, 5 people, or 5 different points in which they was coming at a person or you. So somebody was coming 5 points, 911. It's an emergency. It's an emergency. That's what I see on the screen. It's an emergency. Somebody is feeling really fucked up about it right now. Somebody might got a shit. Somebody might got the bubble guts. You know, the thing that happens when you get a little afraid, or it make some shit hit the bottom of your stomach, like boom. Don't be afraid. You weren't afraid when you did it. Anyway, so like I'm saying, so we got the 75, 57. Those are Taurus, Taurus, Aries. So somebody was a boss. Somebody was a boss when he was doing it. They was like, yeah, they was running. They was like, boom, boom, boom. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. You're gonna do this. So yeah, this is what's happening, and this is the cards. So divine intervention up in this piece. So somebody was like really doing a big one. So they was looking like something here and they was looking like something there, but they was orchestrating shit. And then we see how much hard work went into it and how many different ways they were going about it. But they was staring, they kept their head down. They made it look like they was keeping their head down, they was working, but it is what it is. Divine intervention, here it is. There you go. Step forward. All right, so we're getting into our our third spread. I just wanted to look at it again. So just be mindful of the things going on around you. And if you don't got no parts in it, don't worry about it. But there are situations where people have put your name in situations, planted your information, planted your name, planted your DNA, or planted your clothing in places that you've never been, in rooms that you've never been in, had conversations where you've never been invited to. However, your name and all your business been in that room. However, you never did. Okay, so now we got 95. Why did this Taurus keep popping out here? We got the Taurus, Virgo, and the Aries. So we got the bank. We got the person who was funding it. Whatever this Virgo energy is, they was the bank. They was helping. So then we got this Aries Taurus energy. So the Taurus was the in between. The Aries Taurus energy was the in between. They were supposed to be in control. 5 is always the bully, which is the Taurus. The Taurus is the bully. So the Virgo paid money for the Aries Taurus to be the bully. Boom. Now they out in the cold. This is what I got. Fruits of labor, rewards, luxury, self-efficiency, financial independence, hard work, productivity, routine, conservation, efficiency, responsibility, financial loss, lack mindset, loss, isolation, worry, need, poverty, insecurity. This is what I got. This is what's going on. That's that Virgo that paid for it. This the one who they put to supervise and do the damn project. This is the result. Boom. That's the bully. All right. 9 plot plus 5 is 14. 14 is temperance. Mind your manners. Mind your business, lady. DMX said that. Where the fuck is DMX? And I don't hate the man. Love the man and all that. But when you do shit, I don't care. Atonement. Even if you atone, when you do shit, you don't get away with that shit. Okay? All right. Mind your business, lady. Fuck around and get crazy. Mind your business, lady. DMX. I can't bark real hard because it's going to mess my voice up. Ruff, ruff, ruff. She's a bitch. She's a... Hey, Missy Elliott. Misdemeanor. Misdemeanor Elliott. So it's a misdemeanor? It's a misdemeanor. It's a misdemeanor? You know what a misdemeanor is, right? It's when that shit wasn't about shit, but you had to be accountable for it. You better hope. Anyway, so God bless a child has got his own, and we've got emperor energy just popping straight up on out here. So God bless a child that indeed has their own, have their own mind, their own thinks, their own thought, their own saving, their own everything. And if you ain't got it, wait until you get it, because people likes to talk about other people. Yes, they do. So respect leadership, stability, structure, rules, and power, authority figure, father figure, protection, control, discipline, focus, practicality. This is what life is about. And a lot of us have to be the emperor in our own lives. I know that it says father figure, but you have to understand, when you do not have a male in your house, you are the father figure. Whether you want to be or not, it's all in how you represent and communicate. But what you also have to be mindful is, when you are talking to your child, keep in mind that information evolves through time. So you have to continuously keep talking to your child and continue to evolve the information as you see fit. But just know, the things that you neglect to tell your child, somebody will almost certainly jump off the porch to try to tell your child, and tell your child in such a manner that will make you look like you are the bad guy. So be careful with withholding information from your children. All right. So let's get into our fourth spread. We've got the 7 of Cups coming out, and that usually, it's the only thing. Something is very complete. Something about riches, opportunities, wishful thinking, choices, illusions, searching for purpose, daydreaming. So this is what we've got. Daydreaming also, it covers different things. It has something to do with home. It has something to do with abundance. It has something to do with wealth. It also has to do with temptation, because I see a snake and I see a dragon here. I also see the Most High, and I see vanity as well. So we have to be very careful with the 7 sins, and this is what this is representing in this poll right now. You have to be very careful about your daydreaming, about taking off into the unknown of wanting, because you see, that's where the thing appeals to you. The things that sit on your shoulder, your conscience appeals to you and pushes you one way or another. You have to be very grounded in yourself and know exactly what you need to go forth toward in life, because if someone should come and shine a little shiny coin at you and take you off your path, then what's that say about you? Also, if someone can come and put their woes on you and change your trajectory, what does that also say about you? When I say put their woes on you, I ain't got it right now, I'm on hard time, and I'm not saying you can't help people. I'm not saying you cannot be a saving grace to some people, but are you taking on someone else's karma? Are you taking on someone else's sin? Are you creating a situation where a man won't fish, the man will come fish you? So you have to be very mindful of people when you take up problems for them? Are you teaching them to come to you with the problem, or are you showing them a better way in which to fix their problem, which is most time going to God, actualizing themselves and being able to do for themselves? A lot of time people do not want you to tell them or teach them to go to God or to fish. They want your damn fish. They not coming with no worms. They not coming with no paring knife. They don't know what the fuck a test pound line is. A real what? What is that? Bait? Huh? I'm not doing that. What? Lemon? What? I'm not scaling nothing. These people want fish and they don't even want to pick through the fucking bones. This is the shit we have here. We have a lot of people who want great, wonderful things. They want to look just like you. They want to smell just like you. They want their skin just like yours. They want their bank account just like yours. They want their bed made up just like yours. But they ain't getting up just like you. They're not working like you. They're not studying like you. They're not pricking their hands and stomping their feet. They're not banging their elbows trying to get these things done so that you can enjoy what you're building. No. They said, oh, you finished working? Well, move over, because shit, that shit look comfortable. Let me sit right there. Hell no. I done worked and cracked my stuff and dealt with the stupid supervisor. How dare you think I'm supposed to share all this hard work with you? And there are people who will watch you work tooth and nail. And the minute you sit down, they'll call somebody and say, they stole that. They sweating. They not sweating because they was working. They sweating because they ran. They stole that and they ran all the way over here. And I'm telling. And as soon as you get picked up, because you don't even understand what the fuck that person was doing while they was watching you, they was setting your ass up. And as soon as you get locked up, they gonna pick up your device and take your spot. But there's a God. And karma's real. Because somebody or a few people saw that move get bust. And they decided to put some relish on it. Hey, hallelujah. So, just a word of encouragement. Make sure that when you make one fool, you don't make a couple fools that's going to come and fool you. And that's the fourth spread. It is now 5:12. Enjoy your Monday. I will be back later on. I guess I've got to do some homework. Love you lots. It's been Nyx. See you later. Don't come for me because someone's definitely spouting.